It's story time. Story time. Let's read a story time. Story time. I'm geeked, it's story time. Story time. You and me, it's story time. Story time. Well, let's achieve. Hello, my beautiful K crew, and welcome to Story Time with me, Kayla. How are you doing on this beautiful sunny Sunday? I hope you're doing well, enjoying your summer vacation, and of course, please making sure to stay safe. Now, today we have another special Arthur feature. Today, we are going to take a look at a book from author Crystal Jordan. She was inspired to write tonight's story based off her own son, Zachariah, and she also wanted to start a conversation about autism, especially in the Black community. And so, without further ado, the book we will be reading tonight is called Just Like You, written by Crystal Jordan. You ready to see what this book is all about? Look at that black boy joy on the cover. Ready, set, let's begin. Whoosh. Just Like You, written by Crystal Jordan and illustrated by Janaka T. Here we go. Look at that black boy joy on the cover, smiling and happy and living life freely. Hey, she signed it. You know, we always appreciate an autographed copy, so thank you so much, Crystal. And here's a little message from our author. Just Like You by Crystal Jordan. Black kid with autism, living in a big world. All children are normal. However, Zach has hidden superpowers. Only certain people in the world would understand. He is atypical. But he is just like you and me. He is learning and growing every day, just in a different way. Yes, and there is nothing wrong with that. All right, you all ready? Let's jump straight in. Here we go. Zachariah was a joyful baby boy from birth. He was the pure definition of a beautiful black baby with very curly hair and lovely melanin skin. He also had a bright smile that would light up your day, even if all wasn't going well. Oh, he was so happy. With his little bow tie on. Zachariah was diagnosed at the age of 2 with autism. He is nonverbal, unable to speak, or form words like other children his age. His parents were very shocked by the doctor's diagnosis of their son. His mom, Miss Jordan, was mostly sad, but she always prayed and believed that Zachariah would turn out to be an amazing boy. Despite her son's diagnosis, she knew that he was special, and she committed to always showing Zachariah how much he was loved. He always had a way of bringing happiness and life into his room. He wasn't a boy of many words, but that did not stop him from expressing himself through art. He was full of life and joy. You may ask, why didn't he talk much? So many things that's colorful. Looks like he's a Star Wars fan too, maybe. And likes to draw. The little boy mostly communicated using nonverbal cues and pointing gestures. For example, when he was happy, he would jump up and down. He would clap his hands and tap his fingers. Or when sad, he would have a meltdown. Mrs. Jordan worked hard for months to get Zachariah into school. Well, the day had finally come, and Zachariah's first day has arrived. Mrs. Jordan was incredibly excited for her little boy to mingle and make new play buddies. At the same time, however, she was scared that some kids would not understand her baby boy and that they might make fun of him. She said a silent prayer holding Zachariah's hand as they went through Cambridge Gates Elementary. I could understand her feelings. Sometimes kids are mean, especially if they just don't know something. They just assume things. And who is here? Asked an excited Mrs. Patience, the kindergarten teacher. Mrs. Patience was going to be Zachariah's class teacher. The boy instantly liked his new teacher and went straight to hug her. He kept pointing at her glasses and looking back at his parents. Oh, don't worry, Mrs. Patience. I think Zachariah is trying to say he really likes your glasses, explained Miss Jordan. It's okay. I read his IEP report and I am aware that he is on the spectrum. Zachariah is in good hands and he will have speech therapy twice a week. Zachariah went to a seat in the corner away from the other children while Mrs. Patience began talking to Mrs. Jordan about her concerns for the school year. Zachariah was diagnosed with autism at 2 years old. He can barely say any words because he is nonverbal. His speech isn't as developed as it should be, said Miss Jordan. She tried to keep herself from crying, but Mrs. Patience placed her hand on her shoulder to calm her down. I know what you are going through. I have a nephew just like him. The boy is such a delight to the family, and Zachariah looks like a joyful baby boy too. It took some time to look over his IEP report, and we are going to start working on his goals today. Don't worry, Miss Jordan. Zachariah is in good hands. Ooh, Mrs. Patience seems like a very excellent teacher. I love the fact that this has never stopped him from being a happy kid. I feel much better knowing that you have taken the time to go over his report, and it shows me that you will take care of my baby boy, replied Miss Jordan. Yes. Mrs. Patience is a very good teacher. Is this for me, Zachariah? Why, thank you, little angel. This is beautiful. Did you draw it? Asked an impressed Mrs. Patience. Zachariah nodded with a big smile on his face. He brought with him a pretty drawing of a lily for his class teacher. The boy may not have been a chatterbox, but he was loud when it came to art. Oh my goodness, look at that. That is amazing. Holding back tears of joy, his parents waved goodbye. They were just so happy to see their boy excited about learning. Mrs. Patience took hold of Zachariah's hand and walked into the classroom. Aww. Off to a good start already, a good first day already. Good morning, class. I have a new friend for you. Say hi to Zachariah. Good morning, Mrs. Patience. Hello, Zachariah. Welcome to our class. It is fun to be here, and we hope you enjoy, replied the little boys and girls in unison. Zachariah just looked around and grabbed his teacher's leg. Zachariah is nonverbal and on the spectrum. He has very few words. Don't be shy, Zachariah. We are nice people, shouted Jax, his new desk mate. The class started by introducing themselves to their new classmate. It was now Zachariah's turn, and he was extremely nervous. He started stimming, flapping his hands, and jumping up and down. I love to see this. You know, they see a new student, and instead of being mean, they're all nice and introducing themselves, whether if he had autism or not. I love to see that. It was playtime, and the kids began to play with each other. But Zachariah went to the corner to play with his toys alone. See, Zachariah does not play with other kids. Sometimes he plays next to the kids, but does not interact with them. Jax walked up to Zachariah and introduced himself. Hey, my name is Jax. He sat next to Zachariah, who continued playing with his blocks. Jax helped Zachariah stack the blocks so tall that they fell. Both boys laughed so much. Liam came over to help them clean up since Mrs. Patience said that playtime was almost done. I love that. Jax knows that Zachariah is nonverbal, but still came over so they could play together instead of just watching him play by himself. All kids began to clean up, and Mrs. Patience played some music. Zachariah loved music, and he started to dance. He closed his eyes and danced to the beat of the song. The other kids were so amazed that they started shouting and clapping. Jax and Liam, who were good friends, talked about how they were going to make Zachariah their new best friend. They thought he was so cool. I think Zachariah is cool, shouted a classmate. You go, Zachariah. You are so cool, shouted Jax. Mrs. Patience was completely shocked that Zachariah was doing so well on his first day. She was impressed. He may not use many words, but he is indeed special. Yes, he's so cool. He got everyone pumped up and having a good time on his first day. All the kids surrounded Zachariah, hugged him, and gave him high fives. And just like that, he became the most popular boy in class. Ooh, you go ahead, Zachariah. Mrs. Patience said, "Class, it is time to sit," a phrase that Zachariah was used to hearing since he had joined ABA therapy. Zachariah quickly went to sit at his assigned seat. As the class returned to their seats, everyone was already on their feet, clapping and chanting, "Zachariah is the coolest. Forget about the rest." At 10 a.m., the break bell rang. Jax and Liam walked to Zachariah and offered to show him around the school. They were very friendly and patient with him, and instantly became his friends. Zachariah smiled and clapped his hands and using his hands to make a love heart sign. It was his way of saying thank you and that he also loved his classmates. They all went to play at the swings together. This is making me so happy. It's like Zachariah, we're kind of seeing him come out of his shell a little bit. At first he was really hugged up on his teacher when he was being introduced to the class. And now look at him. He got some new best friends. Jax and Liam. Although Mrs. Patience kept a close eye on Zachariah, Jax and Liam took good care of their new friend. Zachariah was smiling, laughing, and playing aside with the other kids. It was indeed a great first day at school. See, Zachariah is just like you, but he is just atypical. Oh, look at that smile. Yep, he's just like me and you. And the author left us with what is autism. Autism or autism spectrum disorder refers to a broad range of conditions characterized by challenges with social skills, repetitive behaviors, speech, and nonverbal communications. And according to the Centers for Disease Control, autism affects an estimated 1 in 54 children in the United States today. She also left us with a glossary with a lot, even some words that I didn't know. That's very helpful. And here's a little bit about her. The end. Yes, K-Crew! You know, Zachariah is just like me and you, just a little atypical. Now, I hope you enjoyed reading this book as much as I did. To find your copy and to check out her other book, I Am Awesome, Positive Affirmations for Autistic Girls, make sure to head on over to her website, and you can also find these books on Amazon. And of course, be sure to follow on social media. A huge thank you to our author for these submissions and for also starting a very important conversation that needs to be talked about. I want to give a huge shout out to her family. Hey, everybody watching. And I also want to thank you all for joining me, but it's time to sing goodbye. Are we ready? Here we go. Goodbye, 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 my friends. Goodbye to you. I hope to see you again. We'll soon be proud of all your work tonight. Now climb into bed and sleep real tight. On the count of 3, let's say goodnight. 1, 2,